Yay, welcome everybody. We're so excited to have you at the Rock the Stage Challenge. It's going to be an amazing day full of so much content and up-leveling for your speaking. It is so good to see all of you hopping on Zoom. We're going to play a quick video, but welcome. Congratulations for being here. Introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you're from. I'm so excited. Let's face it, the world needs speakers. The world needs messengers. The world needs heart-centered entrepreneurs like you, ready to take the stage, ready to bring people together in virtual events, to inspire people, to heal, to wake people up, and to transform lives. Speaking and taking the stage has given me everything. I used to be a high school teacher from Iowa, and now I'm training thousands of heart-centered entrepreneurs and speakers to take the stage all over the world.
Before Women Rocking Business, I was afraid to speak on stage and I didn't know how to monetize it. I didn't know where money was supposed to come from, so I just kind of shied away from the whole thing. But with what I've learned from Women Rocking Business, she's taught me how to be on stage, how to sell from the stage, how to have stage presence, all the points that I need to make sure that I hit to be able to monetize it. In the last year, I put on 3 events, one that made $200,000, another one that made $200,000, and another one that made $250,000 all in 1 year.
And when I took the stage and started doing regular workshops in the community, my business took off. And then I was enrolling patients in my program, and it enabled me within a few months to actually leave my hospital job. And this has changed everything because now I have time with my children that I didn't have before, time with my husband, time for self-care, time to be creative in my business. So it's been transformative.
So as a result of learning these skills, I have paying clients who have signed up as a result of me speaking, and I've been paid to speak on corporate stages. And I was on the TEDx stage this year.
The skills that I've learned at Women Rocking Business to really own my voice and step into speaking confidently have allowed me to start a podcast, do regular Facebook Lives and Instagram Live videos, to get out there and start hosting talks. I have felt so completely supported and welcomed every step of the way with Sage and the whole Women Rocking Business team.
We're gonna spend 7 days getting you all the tools that you need to create and fill and rock your virtual events. You'll also learn the 10 hottest stages that you can get on and how to land keynote speaking gigs so you can endlessly enroll your ideal clients.
My gosh, the model works. I was able to fully rock the stage and create over $200,000 and have 20 women say yes to my program, which is more than I've ever had. Now that I have these skills, I can just see how I'm going to continually grow and expand a sustainable income so that I can really have this freedom lifestyle that I have been dreaming about for so long.
Virtual events are incredibly powerful, and it's really helped me serve on a much higher level. We were able to bring over 6,000 women into the program over these last 2 years. You know, it's all due to Women Rocking Business.
So after I found Women Rocking Business, I was really able to expand my Facebook group, and then from there to implement strategies and tools, especially virtual events and challenges that I could get my audience really participating. And I did a masterclass called Magnetic Brand Strategy, which was 5 days. It was a virtual experience, and that ended up bringing in, I believe it was 120,000 in sales. And I believe it was something around 74,000 in cash. And so it was my biggest launch, and I felt just so excited and just honored and celebrated by the women inside of Women Rocking Business.
We didn't know when the pandemic hit if what we did in person that was so deeply transformational and life-changing could convert well to the online platform. And what we discovered is that it can be even more powerful for people to transform in the safety of their own homes and be able to integrate our work into their lives in a much more expanded and grounded way. And the tools we learned from Sage helped us just launch to a whole new level of success and impact and transformation than we ever thought was possible.
And if my clients and I can have results like these, so can you.
If your dream doesn't scare you half to death, if your dream doesn't feel like it's too much that you're ever gonna feel, then you don't have a dream, you've got a plan.
Mwah. Let's rock this. Let's absolutely rock this. Congratulations and welcome, welcome. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you're here live, go ahead and click on gallery view and give a little sparkle finger if you see some courage on this screen. Give a little sparkle finger if you see some beauty and some power and some sheroes and some heroes and some humans who have been through amazing things on this screen. Give a little sparkle finger if you would agree with me that women speakers are needed, that human light worker thought leaders are needed right now. What an incredible thing to be here with every single one of you. Congratulations for making your way here. We've got many of you still finding your way to the screen. My community made you a short 30-second, one more quick little welcome, hurrah. So we're going to play that and then we're going to dive in. Here we go. Pop a note in the chat and let us know where you're from and what you're most excited about as you take the stage. We have Canada in the house. We have Australia in the house. We have Saudi Arabia in the house. We have New Zealand in the house. We have Africa in the house. We have Asia in the house. We have South America in the house. We have Central America in the house. One more sparkle fingers for the courage and the beauty and the power that is here. We are making history. We are women gathered together to make a difference. We have over 13,000 of you registered for this crazy event. Sparkle fingers if you are ready to change lives with your message. It is so beautiful to see every single one of you. How many of you would agree with me that women speakers are needed in this moment of big transformation on the planet, right? Things are out of balance. Here we are watching climate change, AI, homelessness, disparity. Raise your hand if you would agree with me that women have answers. So many women have answers. And if you don't identify as a woman and you're here, you are welcome here. Thank you for resonating with a feminine way of doing things. Pop a yes in the chat if you know it's your time to bring a message, if you've been getting tapped on the shoulder by something that feels bigger than you. Raise your hand if sometimes you wonder, am I really the person to bring this message? But you know that that thing that's tapping you on the shoulder is likely going to keep tapping you on the shoulder if you don't just surrender and listen to it. I see a lot of you nodding, and I'm curious how many of you are here because you want to take the stage in a bigger way. You're ready to get more visible, even if you don't know what your message is, even if you're still figuring it out. Raise your hand if you know there's something bigger happening here. As I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at so many of you raising your hands. I'm seeing Patricia and Sonia and Debbie and Michelle and Tony and DeMarcy and Agnes and Candace. Oh my gosh, y'all are so beautiful. Thank you for making your way to this moment to be here with powerful women entrepreneurs from around the world. It is such an honor. Raise your hand if you've already been inspired or touched by somebody in the Rock the Stage Facebook group. Raise your hand if you've already seen something inspiring. Y'all could seriously be leading this event without me. I am so touched. And I'll just say as we dive in here, the world is transforming so fast. And what I am absolutely understanding is that transformational businesses and transformational messages are needed. So one more sparkle fingers if you know you have something to bring the world, you have a transformation, you have a message that's been there niggling at you. I am so excited for these 7 days, y'all. Let's actually talk about what we're going to be doing. So today, we'll pop up the slide. We're going to be supporting you to clarify your magnetic message. Tomorrow, we're going to help you position your client attracting talk. On Thursday, we're going to help you create videos that really go viral. On Friday, we're going to support you to speak, to enroll clients. Saturday, we're going to be helping you really position and start to craft your hot client attracting offer. On Sunday, we're going to be talking about getting booked as a keynote. On Monday, we're going to be teaching you my favorite hacks to fill virtual events. And we put an extra bonus training, an all-day training on the calendar for next Thursday, July 20th. So pop a yes in the chat if you would like to come learn how to be a thought leader. I am so excited to support those of you that are on a thought leadership journey. Hello, Serena. Serena has participated in many of our thought leadership trainings before. Hello, Camilla. Hello, Kim. So please, please put Thursday on the calendar. I'm so excited to get you that extra training on how to position yourself as a thought leader. And I don't know, y'all. I can't believe it. Every time we open doors to an event like this, you all come out of the woodwork. We have incredible women from all corners of the globe. And my team and I are over here like, how is this even possible? You guys are such an inspiration. And I can't even believe that I get to wake up and support you in this way. You know, I wake up every day. I live in a little house by the beach in Santa Cruz, California. I have an amazing fiance. I just got an amazing puppy. I have this business that I love. I used to be a cat person. Now I'm a dog person. And it did not always look like this, y'all. 12 years ago, I was teaching school. I'm from Iowa, the Midwest in the United States. And can we give some love to school teachers? Can we just put some sparkle fingers out if you love school teachers? I loved being a school teacher. Some of my dearest friends are teachers, but being in that school system that I was in was really breaking my heart. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. I saw how so many of the kids struggled. And I have a degree in women's studies and in leadership and women's leadership. And I just kept thinking, man, if we could support the moms, I saw how the kids struggled. And I started doing research, and it turns out that kids of working moms oftentimes are more successful. They go further. And I have this passion to empower moms and empower women to believe in themselves and bring their messages to the world. And so I left teaching. But at that same moment, you guys, I was also leaving a 10-year marriage. And so there was no safety net. There was nothing to fall back on. I moved into my grandpa's RV because I didn't have any money. I decided I wanted to start this business helping women bring their messages to the world, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Raise your hand if you've ever felt that way. What have I done to my life? I knew at that moment that I needed healing. So I signed up for every single healing thing I could get my hands on: hypnotherapy, pranic healing. I did vision quests, wilderness as medicine, coaching, yoga teacher certification. You guys, I was painting houses just so that I could make enough money to sit in on some of these trainings. I was mopping the floor and volunteering so I could get the transmission. But week by week, month by month, I started to realize the whole world needs healing. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. And as I healed myself, I started realizing we need to bring all the healing, all the coaching, all the mentorship to the world that we possibly can. And then I found speaking. Even though I wasn't making any money and I didn't know how the hell this was going to work, I found speaking, and I started speaking at my local community center. I started speaking at my local library, and it started working. I hired a business mentor. I trusted my business mentor. And then I did my first online event called Women on Purpose. Pop a yes in the chat if any of you have been with me since then. Women on Purpose, I had over 5,000 women register. And to my surprise, I actually didn't fail, which is crazy because I don't come from a long line of entrepreneurs. I come from a long line of school teachers. And I started figuring out how to get clients. If I can figure this out, you can figure this out. And then I had 5 clients, and then I had 10 clients, and then I had dozens of clients. And you guys, this was 2008, 2009 when my business started to take off. These were recession years. And there I was, a school teacher from Iowa. I used to make $28,000 a year, and I started making over $28,000 a month doing what I loved and working less and having so much fun. So whatever it is that you think might not be possible for you, I'm here to tell you it actually is possible. I have a question for you. What do you want, but you feel afraid that it might not be possible? You are here for a reason. You are here for a reason. There is no accident that you found this training this week, this random Tuesday in July. There's no accident that you found your way to this moment where we get to spend the next 7 days teaching you to do the impossible. We get to spend the next 7 days getting you the strategies, the content, the proven tools to get your message out there. Because you see, some of us have been through really hard things in the last few years and in our lives. But no matter what happens in your life and your business, no matter how many failures you've had, you are bigger than your failures. You are bigger than your setbacks. So I'm going to invite you to take a nice deep breath. And if you're ready, if you're committed to change your life over the next 7 days, just pop a big YES, capital YES in the chat, representing you evolving spiritually. Because the more you evolve spiritually, the more is possible for you as a leader and in business. I absolutely would not have been able to keep up with the business growth, running a company that now does over 5 million in sales a year, if I hadn't continued to work on myself. As we work on ourselves today and get you these tools today, I am so excited to empower you to get your message out online bigger than ever before. Because what I know is that your speaking business can give you everything. I've watched women change their lives as they launch their speaking careers, put their kids through college, heal their bodies, get more empowered, get healthier, get happier, attract amazing relationships. I am so excited. A few of those women are here with us. I'm going to pop up their slide. Dr. JC Mayers is an awesome example of a woman who completely changed her life around. She went from being a widowed mom with a baby in her arms in Barbados many years back. Now she's a powerful woman leader being flown around the world, supporting thousands to transform their trauma into triumph through her mental health movement. Glory St. Germain, several years back, Glory's husband went into the hospital and they found that suddenly he could not work anymore. Glory was in a super scary moment. What should she do? She was a piano teacher, barely making it. She decided to launch her business training music teachers. And now, you guys, over the last couple of years, she's made over $1 million to date using speaking and women rocking business tools. Pop a yes in the chat if you're inspired by these women. Robin Nielsen. When I met Robin 4 or 5 years ago, she was about to let her business go. She was about to give up. She launched her Hormone Reset and Thriving health program for thousands of women, helping them balance their hormones. And she is now creating over $1 million a year, raising money for a health camp in Nepal. These tools work. It is my honor to bring you this content this week. I'm going to make sure that you guys have your workbooks. Your workbooks are in the guides section of your Facebook group. We can also pop the link to the workbook in the chat. It's womenrockingbusiness.com/workbook. Many of you have printed those workbooks out. We even have some prizes for you today for those of you that took selfie pictures with your workbooks. So inspiring. So grab your workbook if you don't already have it, so we can really get you the content and the momentum. And just a reminder, you guys, in the guide section of the Rock the Stage Facebook group, we're going to be on the next slide, you'll see we're going to be popping up not just your workbook in there, but all the replays to these video trainings and all the information about our visibility contest where you can win over $22,000 in business training and all the things. If you're watching us on Facebook and you're not on Zoom and you want to join us on Zoom so you can see all the incredible women who are here, you can do that at womenrockingbusiness.com/Zoom. I also want to let you know about one more resource we have for you. We have a super incredible quiz. It's called the Speaker Superpower Quiz. And that quiz is at womenrockingbusiness.com/quiz, because we are going to be addressing the different superpowers as we go through this week. I wouldn't necessarily go take the quiz right now. I would just, bookmark this URL so you can go back and take it so you don't miss anything. But I want to just talk about the superpowers, because when you're a visionary, you see people's visions, even if they can't see it for themselves. And bringing that visionary energy into the stage is going to be very powerful for you moving forward. We have a picture of this compass. We have a version of this compass in your workbook so you can follow along. And in the direction of the south is the element of fire. And that's where we put the superpower of motivator. Right? A motivator is like Oprah. She has this way of getting us thinking about our lives and getting us into action almost without even trying. Visionary would be more like Michelle Obama, right? Like Michelle sees the future. And then in the direction of the water, in the direction of west and the energy and element of water, we have the superpower of truth teller. Truth teller is like Brene Brown, right? Like truth tellers have this gift of waking people up. And in the direction of north, in the element of earth, we have the nurturer. And nurturers have the gift of bringing healing and love. I know we have so many of you here that are already identifying with one of these superpowers, but imagine what the world would be like if we embodied all four of these superpowers, and we embodied all four of these superpowers in our businesses. We're going to be talking about this throughout the week, but pop a yes in the chat if you find your spirituality in nature. Like I said earlier, I've done a lot of vision quests in my life, and I really started to understand that when we teach content, when we teach business principles through the lens of the natural elements, the universal principles, we can actually go further. The women that I work with oftentimes find themselves resisting the business tools and the business principles. Yeah, like they resist them less when they actually see that these business tools align with universal principles that we can see in nature. And that's why we lay out the superpowers on the four directions on the compass, to remember that we are of this earth, and that when we stay connected to nature rather than separating from it, we can bring forth our superpowers in an even more authentic way. Raise your hand if this way of doing business just kind of resonates with you, if you can see the value of grounding these truths in a bigger elemental structure. I love seeing your hands go up. So nice deep breath, everyone. We're going to keep going, and we're going to move pretty quickly because we have so much to teach you. I want to talk about the three components of a rock star speaking business. The first one is that as a speaker, you want to be able to attract your participants and attract people who pay you, right? Because nobody lands paid speaking gigs without some kind of a ramp up to that opportunity. I know many of you are like, teach me how to get paid to take the stage. And that's what we're going to do. But you want to be thinking about who will pay you to speak, who will pay you to teach and lead, right? So we're going to be talking this week about the client attraction component of your speaking business. We're also going to be talking about the enrollment component of your speaking business, because this is where you turn a participant who might be hearing you speak or stumbling on a webinar or a video that you make, and you turn them into a paying client, right? Enrollment is essentially sales. And then we have the fulfillment part of the speaking business. Fulfillment means that you get to take great care of your clients, to fulfill on what you promise to them. And how many of you would like to spend your life in fulfillment? Pop a yes in the chat if you're like, yeah, Sage, just fill up my schedule with clients. I would love to just focus on fulfillment, right? Unfortunately, I love you all. It doesn't really work like that. So we are going to be teaching you all three things. Raise your hand if you're willing to sink your teeth into all three components so that you can have that success. And I'll say one more thing. I was the most resistant to the sales part of the speaking business. Raise your hand if you would agree with that. That's where I had the most resistance, the enrollment step, the sales step. But what I found was that in learning sales, I actually became even more anchored in my message. I became even more anchored as a leader. And I can honestly say, I'm going to get tender here, but the life that we get to attract as women leaders is dependent on us embracing all three components of building this business. Raise your hand if you can kind of relate to that, or you can see that even though there's resistance there, this is part of your leadership. Do not be one of those women who waits for somebody to discover you. Just promise me that right now. Not on my watch. Do not wait to be discovered. You are too powerful and your gift is too precious for you to wait. Take a breath into that. Are you feeling me? This is serious, y'all. This is your life. This is your business. This is the world that we're creating together. You deserve to get out there unabashedly. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of every single one of you for being here to learn this. So I have a question for you. How many of you have been mentoring people or training people or teaching people for a while, and you've ever found yourself in a situation where you almost have to try to educate people about why they should hire you? Raise your hand if that's ever been true for you. It's almost like you're having to educate people, like, this is what I do, and you're trying to teach people. Okay, so I want to get you out of that. So we'll pop up the next slide, because what we want to do as speakers is we want to be facing downstream in our marketing, and we're going to be teaching you how to do that today. Downstream marketing is giving people what they know they need, what they say they need. Can you feel the difference? Upstream marketing is educating people about why they need your services, and we don't want to chase clients around. I don't want any of you having to chase clients around. So I know you guys are filling in your workbook. The clues that line up with your workbook are all highlighted in your slides so you can follow along. And I know if you miss something, we've got a lot of incredible women here that will probably support you in the chat. But what we are committed to is we're committed over the next 7 days to getting you the tools to really be able to face downstream with your marketing so you can really grow your message-based, your speaking business. So let's just give you an example. Which one is upstream marketing? Which one is downstream marketing? So one of my clients came to me a few years ago, and she had a masterclass she was teaching on self-care practices for moms. We worked together to have her, play around with different titles. And we came up with this title, Attention Busy Moms, 10 Secrets to Avoid the Tantrums. But guess what? Her masterclass didn't change very much. She still taught self-care practices, but she was just leading more with the problem. So which one do you guys think is downstream? The first one or the second one? Which one do you guys think is downstream? The first one or the second one? Yes, yes, yes. You guys can see here on the next slide. Self-care practices for moms, unfortunately, was not actually getting her the traction. It wasn't getting her the attendance. When we redid her title and we made her title downstream, we made it about the problem that these moms were facing, her attendance was like 10x. She went from having just a couple people on her masterclass to having 15 or 18 or 25 or 30 people on her masterclass. And she started signing up high ticket clients because now she had an offering that matched what her clients actually wanted. So what our invitation to you is to start with that clear message that you're passionate about. And we want to talk for a moment about making sure your message also passes what we call the face test, because the face test is one of the ultimate tests to make sure that people will show up to hear you speak and to hear you bring your message. And I have somebody here who I adore and love so much. She's a trainer for Women Rocking Business. She's a coach for Women Rocking Business. She's a graduate of the Women Rocking Business programs. Let's make sure your hand is up, Nicole, so we can bring you to the stage and give you a big wahoo. Let's sparkle fingers for Nicole, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so blessed and excited to be here, Sage. Thank you so much for the invitation to share with you today and to be here with all of these thousands of message bearers. It is humbling and exciting for me. I'm so excited.
And Nicole and I have been supporting women to come up with messages that pass the face test for years. I mean, Nicole, like, talk about why this face test is so important.
Let me tell you, at least for me, I know for sure that if we are going to change the world and make money doing it, then speaking in virtual events is the way to do it. And if we're going to communicate our message, our people have to hear us. So as Sage mentioned, I'm a graduate of the Women Rocking Business programs, and I have used these same tools to expand my own business. I have a women's empowerment business. It is spiritually based, and I had the best year I ever had in 2022 using these same tools that we will be talking about today and throughout the challenge. And I'm also honored when I am working with the Women Rocking Business clients as a trainer and as a coach to come alongside them each and every day to encourage them to grow their own message-based businesses, one event and one talk at a time. So I was sharing with Sage a little bit earlier today that while I was in the mirror with all this hair that I got going on, it occurred to me that I spent 4 years talking about communication. Sage mentioned that she has a degree in women's studies, so do I, but my undergraduate degree is in communication. And literally for almost 4 years, all I talked about were the fundamentals of communication and the 4 components, right? So the one thing that we need is what's called a sender. That's the messengers. That's everybody who's gathered here today who has a message burning in your belly. And that message that you have burning here in your belly is the message. We also need a channel, right? A way to get the message out. We're talking about virtual events and speaking live. But the one thing that we think less about is essential to communication, and that is the receiver. If we don't have somebody on the other side who can hear our message, understand it, and get it, receive it, then ultimately we're just making noise. So what we want to do is we want to put the clear and loud and clear in our communication and make sure that our people can hear the message that we're here to send. And I'm excited to talk about that today, Sage.
It's so essential. And when you all share a message in a way where you keep the face test in mind, attention, busy moms, let me help you put an end to the tantrums, hang on to your own balance. I now know who to send you. I have a face come to mind. I have 2 good friends that are very busy moms right now that could use some support. So raise your hand if you can see the value of running your headlines, running your top marketing, running your titles through the face test. We have a moment to capture people's attention online. So let's talk for a moment about what comes up when we say this to you. Raise your hand if any of you have heard Nicole and I talking about clarifying your message and getting out there in a bigger way, and you've had fear come up. So I see a lot of hands going up. So before we start helping you test your message, which we will do today, we want to actually talk about some of the fears that can come up that will block you from even getting clear on your message. In fact, some of you might even be spacing out a little bit right now. Raise your hand if you ever find yourself starting to tune out or space out a little bit when people talk about going too fast in your business. That's actually a way of your ego protecting yourself from actually creating the success. So Nicole, do you want to just kind of go through these fears real quick, these things that can block us from really getting clear and really going bigger with our message?
This is so important. So everybody, of course, it's workbook time. Whip out your pens and pencils because this will be really helpful to you. So we're going to talk about 3 things that speakers sometimes struggle with when choosing a core message. The first fear that people have is a fear of exploding, right? So sometimes we're afraid of failing, of falling short, but also sometimes we're in fear of blowing up even bigger, right? We're afraid that we're going to be so successful that we may be responsible for more people than we're ready for, or we may lose our freedom. So if you've ever felt that way, drop a yes in the chat, fear of exploding. The second thing that comes up in terms of a fear is a fear of leaving people out. So how many of you have felt afraid that if you choose one core message, you won't be able to help everybody, or you might limit yourself somehow? You might sometimes feel afraid that people in your life won't resonate with your message as much anymore if you only talk about one thing or understand what you're up to. So if you can resonate with that, pop a yes in the chat. The tricky thing about that one is that the truth is that when we try to help everybody, sometimes we end up not helping anyone. So that core message is essential. And then the third fear that comes up frequently is a fear of not expressing fully. So have you ever felt like as you choose to get more specific on a message, focusing on a core message, you might be putting yourself in a box, right? And you might not be able to express all of your interests or skills and abilities. So for example, if you want to speak about relationships and be a relationship coach, you might feel like you can't do like some of your movement and breath work background that you have that can help people as well. So if you've ever had a fear of not expressing yourself fully, drop a yes in the chat. And then one other thing we want to ask you is that if one of these things is really holding you back, put that number in the chat. And if there's something else that pops up for you, pop a yes in the chat as well, or let us know in the chat if there's another fear that you feel like it's held you back from really choosing a core message.
I'm seeing a pretty even distribution, Nicole, of people feeling afraid of the success, fear of leaving people out, fear of not expressing fully. Some people here, some women here just straight up have a fear of speaking. Some women are feeling insecure. I can completely relate to all of that. Helena says fear of judgment. I see a lot of you nodding. I think judgment can come up. And so it's important to address these without just glossing over them, because if we don't just address them, then fears can start to hijack us. Take a nice deep breath, everybody. Click on gallery mode if you're here live and you want to just look into the faces of the other incredible women who are here. Hold your hands out if it feels right to the screen. Just take a breath into all of the fears that come up. And I want to invite you to remember that fear, F-E-A-R, can also stand for face everything and rise.
Beautiful.
Not just fuck everything and run, but face everything and rise, right? Because here's the thing. What I truly know is that if you don't feel fear, I don't think you're dreaming big enough. If you don't feel fear, I don't think you're actually going for it enough. Fear is an indicator that you are stretching. Fear is an indicator that you are willing to grow. So pop a yes in the chat if you are willing to face everything and rise, choose your dream anyway, choose visibility, choose getting out there, even if your message evolves. One of my spiritual teachers has said to me so many times, it doesn't matter which path you choose. It just matters that you choose. If you want to grow spiritually, you choose and you stay committed to that choice. It doesn't matter what you choose. It just matters that you choose. The other piece of this that I find really helpful is to get clear on not just your message, but your values. So here's how this has worked for Women Rocking Business. We got clear that we wanted to teach women to do business from a place of collaboration rather than competition. We'll pop up the slide. We got clear that we wanted to teach women to do business from a place of empowerment rather than power over. that we wanted to teach women to do business from a place of generosity rather than a feeling of scarcity or urgency. And what happened was our business started to take off because we weren't doing it like everybody else. In fact, my company had never sold more than 400 units of anything at a time. And when Hay House picked up my book and my book came out, we sold over 14,000 books in less than 3 weeks. Papa yes in the chat if you'd like to have results like those. And so you want to be thinking about not just your message, but what you stand for. One of the things that we stand for is we stand for women getting equal pay, because women are still getting paid 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. For every dollar made by white men, Asian women make 90 cents, white women make 79 cents, Black women make 62 cents, and Hispanic and Latinx women make 54 cents. And that hasn't changed very much in the last few years, although we are making a dent in this because at the Women Rocking Business, on the Women Rocking Business campus, instead of 80 to 85% of businesses failing, 80 to 85% of businesses here on this campus are succeeding. And so we are absolutely putting a stake in the ground that we can do business in a way that resonates with us. Women are starting businesses nearly 50% more frequently than men. But when we do, our businesses are more likely to fail in the world. But again, when we do businesses in a way that resonate with women, we can go so much further. And because we've chosen something that we really stand for that's bigger than just, hey, we help you get clients, which we do, but we have this bigger stand that we're taking. So many doors have opened for us. I've had the opportunity to speak on stage at Microsoft, speak on NPR, get featured in Inc. magazine, take the TEDx stage, major keynote speaking opportunities. I've had the chance to travel around the world with Lynn Twist, do volunteer work in Ecuador, raise money for the women in the rainforest, raise money for girls in Uganda. We've raised over $1 million for philanthropic causes. My dear spiritual mentor, Reverend Deborah Johnson, I had a chance to interview one of my mentors, Reverend Michael Beckwith, a couple years ago. And so I just want to speak a word that when you commit to a message, it's amazing the doors that will open. Right now we're serving over 500,000 female speakers. And in 2012, I just got this idea to teach women to do business the women's way. And I had my first business conference. There was about 50 women there. And halfway through the business training, we went down on the beach and we stood in a circle and we locked our dreams into place. And by the following year, we had doubled and we were over 100 women. And by 2014, we were over 200 women. And by 2015, we were over 300 women at the conference. And by 2016, it was stormy, but we had nearly 400 women at that conference. And in 2017, we did the conference, but it rained, so we couldn't go out and do the circle. In 2018, we actually did our first circle down the beach from my new beach house in Santa Cruz, California, and we had nearly 500 women in that circle. And in 2019, we had over 600 women in the circle. And you all know what happened in 2020. We were all forced to go online. We taught our clients to get online, but we did not miss a beat. And just a few months ago, we got back together for our first little beach circle in person. And I'm curious, will any of you be interested in joining our 2023 sisterhood? Because there will be another opportunity this week and in September. So stay tuned for that. It is absolutely my honor to remind you that the more clear you get on your message, the bigger doors are going to open for you. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time. But Papa yes in the chat, if you can see the importance of standing for something, because when you put a stake in the ground, you magnetize people to you. When you're all over the place floundering, that's not a strong stand to take. Can you feel it? The deeper that stake is that you put in the ground, the larger your circles of clients are going to be. Nicole, do you want to talk a little bit about this concept of Ikigai? I think this would be a good time to do that.
I do think this would be a great time for that. And thank you for teaching this to me. So Ikigai is a Japanese word, and it means a reason for being, a reason for being. And our Ikigai is not just about our passion, like we've been talking about, right? It's about what the world is ready to pay for as well. So there is an intersection between what it is that you love and what you're passionate about, also what you're good at, where your strong suits are. The other parts of that interaction is what the world needs right now and what it is that you can get paid for. So all of these components are important to consider as you're focusing on your world-changing message and building your profitable business. That's your Ikigai.
I just love it. I lived in Japan for a year and I felt like there was this, I just love Japanese people. I loved the culture. I felt like so many people were walking around that country, like with a secret in their back pocket, like a little, like an inner peacefulness. And when I learned about Ikigai, it just made so much sense. It's so critical that we look at what we're passionate about overlapping with what people will pay us for, rather than trying to build a business like in a bubble, right? So I want to also introduce a few terms here. One of the things that we've noticed in online marketing and what's working right now, especially with the rise of AI, is that it's so important to make your business not just niched, but micro niched. Right? Women Rocking Business is not just about helping women business owners. If we were out there going, hey, let me help you, woman business owner, I just want to say this with total love, you probably wouldn't be here, right? If we were just saying, hey, you're a woman, let us help you with business, you might not be here, right? We're here doing something more specific. We're supporting women speakers to take the virtual stage. And the more micro niched you can get, the more magnetic your message is going to become to get you that momentum. And what I'm about to say is really important. It does not matter if your micro niche is the only thing you do. Does that make sense? Your micro niche might just be part of what you do, but your micro niche is going to be what helps you get people's attention. So we're going to talk more about that in a moment. I also want to talk about this word zeitgeist. Have you guys heard this word? I love this word. Zeitgeist is a word that really helps us understand that it's not just about choosing a message, but it's also about choosing a message that stands out now, that's relevant now, and bringing your message in a way that addresses what's going on in the world now. And the next principle that I want to invite us to think about is how to make our messages bigger than just what we're selling. Some of you are already pretty clear on your message, but you might not have taken the time to really think about the bigger cut of what you stand for, right? Like Women Rocking Business stands for equal pay for women. We stand for closing the gender pay gap. And that's part of what landed me my TEDx deal. It's part of what landed me my book deal. So how can you actually both serve your clients and stand for something bigger and be more socially relevant? So pop a note in the chat. How can you make your business even bigger than what you're selling? How can you make your business even more socially relevant? Just pop a couple sentences in the chat so we can check out a little bit of what you guys are thinking for a moment. I know some of you are here to serve moms and you stand for parents having an incredible parenting journey, but not losing themselves in the process. My incredible friend and colleague, Ocean Robbins, he stands for a food revolution. He's helping people embrace plant-based eating and nutritional strategies to be more healthy, but he's wanting to change the way we do food on the planet. So Dr. Rainbow says, I teach people to change the world around them and to prove that as we age, we can actually get healthier. I love that, Dr. Rainbow Casey. It's almost like aging in reverse. Let's see, Nicole, what else do we have? I love this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okaya says that she stands for caring for caregivers. Anna is standing for mental health. Dr. Geraldine was talking about learning for people with disabilities, powerful stands.
This is super powerful. Donzella says, I stand for educating people more about elderly people living together and the benefits of elderly people living together. Donzella, I love that. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but your social stand might even be like, I stand for eliminating loneliness in old age. I mean, that's powerful, right? Can you guys feel how if Donzella's marketing was like, you know, learn the secret to eliminating loneliness in old age? Like, there's going to be a moment where I'm going to want to attend that class on behalf of my mom, right? So you guys can see how these bigger social stands are so powerful. These
Kelly
are so
Kelly was
Yeah.
mentioning that she's standing for better health with people who have chronic illnesses. And AFP is for expression through art, which I think is wonderful.
That is so inspiring. So let's talk a little bit more about resilient marketing for speakers. We have 5 things we want to teach you about this. And then my team actually made you a super short video to kind of demonstrate some of this so we can show you rather than tell you.
Very nice. So it is workbook time again. Everybody get your pens and pencils. We're going to talk about 5 steps to resilient marketing for speakers. So the first step is to know is that we don't only want to share a solution, but people are looking for an individualized solution just for them. The second step to consider is that we can lead with our story and values first, and then share our content. We want to build relationship with our audience. Our third step is that we want to consider not only what it is that we want to say, but what the world needs. We've been talking about that in the zeitgeist. The fourth step to resilient marketing is that we can leverage AI and other tech tools to help us to convert clients online, to help people to say yes to the services that we're offering. And then the fifth step in resilient marketing is that we get the opportunity to stand for a bigger transformation, a change that can really impact people's lives.
Let's pop that up one more time because I know some of you are filling in your workbooks. So we'll pop that up one more time. And I just want to say, y'all, this is key, right? For you to be thinking tonight between now and tomorrow, right? We're going to be coming back on tomorrow to teach you about how to start thinking about positioning your talk. So just to be thinking about a message, if you don't already have one, a message that you could move forward with for the purpose of this week's training. Could you see the value of picking something to move forward with? Pop a yes in the chat if you could see the value of picking something to move forward with. And I have to say, y'all, I am so inspired by you. Thank you, Coach Aisha, for putting the workbook prompts in the chat. You guys can scroll back because Coach Aisha and Coach Renee actually put the workbook prompts in the chat, but I am absolutely inspired. Nikki says, I stand for creativity being seen as essential and not just an indulgence. Hell to the yes. Leslie says, I transform metaphysical spiritual women feeling out of place to feeling empowered. Thank you so much for everything that y'all are standing for on behalf of parents, on behalf of relationships, on behalf of health, on behalf of trusting our intuition, on behalf of soul aligned purpose. Like, the stand that you're taking is so needed. I heard several of you say, this is my rub. This is where things get challenging for me. I don't actually know what I stand for. My message is more evolutionary. Raise your hand if that's you. Some of you are feeling that way. I see quite a few hands going up. So there's nothing to be shy about. Those of you watching the replay, there's nothing to be shy about if you're feeling unsure of your message. For many of you, your message is evolutionary and it is going to evolve. You may choose a message to play with this week, and 6 months from now, it's going to continue evolving. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to let that be okay. Let it be okay that your message evolves, and raise your hand if you'd be willing to play with something for the purpose of this challenge, because we can get a lot more information from trying something on, right? Giving it a try, taking it for a test drive, rather than sitting around and thinking about it all day long, right? We're going to be inviting you to make a super quick little informal video today. Try making a video with a particular message and see how it feels. And you might change your mind tomorrow. One of the things that I think can help you is to hear how some of our clients have been able to really embrace this idea of zeitgeist and positioning their message, and just kind of show you rather than telling you. So my team just made a very short video. It's just a few minutes long. We're going to play that for you. And when you get back, we're going to show you some AI hacks for actually hacking your message using ChatGPT or Baird. So we'll be right back, and don't go anywhere. If you want to be a speaker and build a speaking-based business online, I want to spend just a few minutes inviting you to consider what's at the core of your speaker message. And if you're stuck or confused about your message as a speaker, or if you're wanting to dial in your message so you can reach more people, I have a message clarity framework that I'd like to share here to help you build your profitable speaking business. First, I want to introduce you to the concept of zeitgeist, which is defined as the spirit of the age. The world's in a huge transition. You can use the concept of zeitgeist to tap in to what people might be craving or thinking right now in this very moment. Zeitgeist helps you choose a message that is relevant now. My client, Sophia Tom, has done a beautiful job tapping into the zeitgeist. She mentors women who are hungry to really discover the wisdom within their bodies. She runs retreats out of her retreat center in Costa Rica. And when the world shut down and Sophia's retreat center was sitting empty, Sophia was able to use the concept of zeitgeist along with our virtual stage building strategies to reach thousands of her ideal clients online. Supplementing her retreat center income, Sophia has grown an incredible brand called Temple Body Arts. She's answering a global call that women all over the world have to live their highest purpose by tuning in to their body wisdom. Find out more about Sophia at sophiatom.com.
Thank you to the tools at Women Rocking Business. I have grown my business online, my online community. I just had over 600 women register for a paid 21-day Facebook challenge, and to then launch a whole new program and have 130 women join and say yes. And I really feel that it's through the tools I've learned in knowing how to really show up online and use this sacred technology to share my message. I'm so grateful for all of these different ways of offering online challenges and trainings and being able to call in my divine clients and women that are ready to say yes.
Another one of my clients, Susan Pierce Thompson, tapped into the zeitgeist really effectively in her business. Her company, Brightline Eating, teaches people cutting-edge psychology and neuroscience to help them lose weight. But she's not just helping people get happier and more thin and more free. She's also focusing on the bigger vision of putting an end to food addiction on the planet. Susan has had incredible results using speaking and the virtual event tools that we teach to grow her community and skyrocket her business.
My business has completely exploded. I've been working with Sage, following her guidance, leaning on her, using her every step of the way, and my email list is now at 140,000 people. And in the past year, my business has brought in $2.6 million in revenue that I have been able to funnel back into my business to grow it, grow it, grow it. Just working with her has been a dream, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Go ahead and take the plunge. You won't regret it.
When you combine the mindset of standing for a clear outcome with the concept of tapping into the zeitgeist and what people are really craving at this moment in consciousness, it allows you to focus fully on your message. and a clear message is what allows your business to scale so you can do what you love to do. Stay in your creative zone of genius. And here at Women Rocking Business, our message has become so far-reaching. That's what's allowed me to create an incredible life, work part-time, and do things that I absolutely love. I've had the opportunity to create job security for myself and my team. I have the security of knowing that I can work from anywhere. I have the opportunity to travel to support humanitarian projects. I've been able to take clients and my team to Liberia and Uganda and Bali to do fundraising and support women's empowerment. We got to go to Ecuador and raise over $100,000 to help support women in the rainforest, protecting their jungle home from oil companies. It is possible to build a business that gives you the freedom to focus on the things you love and sets you up to thrive in any economy. To feel that security where you can take care of yourself and your loved ones and your family, no matter what's happening in the world. And getting clear on your message and using virtual events to find your clients really is the first step to being able to reach more people and break that old paradigm of trading time for dollars. So if Sophia and Susan and thousands of our clients can do this, so can you. If you're called to build a business that really changes the world, the universe needs you and the time is now. So I invite you to ask yourself, how can you use the power of Zeitgeist in your business? The opportunity is here to grow a business that makes great money and makes a huge difference on the planet. We need you. We absolutely need you. We absolutely need you. So I am so excited to take this one step further and to show you a couple things about how my team and I have been using ChatGPT with our clients and AI to actually rock your message even more. Pop a yes in the chat if you've already been playing around with ChatGPT or Google's Baird and you've been asking it for support with headlines or marketing materials. It's pretty extraordinary, as you know, what we can do with this neural network that's now available to us. These AI platforms are absolutely next level. Our clients have been using these platforms kind of like a marketing assistant. We'll pop up the two options for links, just in case one or the other works better for you. But, they've done all this research and, this technology really can do in 1 minute what it takes the Harvard think tank over an hour to do. Okay, this is not a database. This is our neural network. I got a chance to meet one of the CEOs of ChatGPT, Sam Altman, in San Francisco a few weeks ago. And it was just extraordinary to talk to him and to hear his aspirations about how AI can help cure diseases and help bring world peace and help solve the climate crisis. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty out there around AI, but pop a yes in the chat if you're the kind of person that's like, look, if it'll help me, I'm going to use it. Right? Because that's what we're here to do. If it can help us get our message out, if it can help us do good, that's where we want to put our attention. And I'll give you this example here on the next slide. And we've got the link to ChatGPT in your workbook if you're newer to ChatGPT. But a couple of quick tips. I know many of you probably are already aware that the more concise your prompt is, the better the output's going to be, right? So the better input you give AI or ChatGPT, the better the output's going to be. And essentially what you guys are doing with ChatGPT, this is what it looks like for those of you that haven't seen it. It just looks like a simple screen with a blank spot to put your prompt. Oops. I'll grab my prompt right here in a moment. It just looks like a simple screen here. And your prompt could be as simple as, I'm working with women over 50 who are designing their next chapter. Can you give me 3 mission statements to use in my marketing? And when you open up ChatGPT, what is happening when you start using it is you're training it to think like you. So if you put a prompt in like, hey, I'm working with women over 50 who are designing their next chapter, can you help create 3 mission statements I can use in my marketing? What you're doing as you get these responses is you're actually training ChatGPT to speak a little bit more like you. So these are great, right? I'm empowering women over 50 to redefine their journey. These are fantastic. I'm empowering women over 50 to embrace change and embody confidence, inspiring reinvention and enriching lives. This is great verbiage, super good verbiage. And if you're someone like me who is a little bit more of like the girl next door, you can ask it, could you rewrite these in a voice that's more informal, like the girl next door? You know, just as an example, just to play with it. Absolutely. Unleashing the inner sparkle of women over 50. Right now, that's a great headline that might work more for me. Sparking joy in epic adventures. The other thing that you can do is that ChatGPT actually knows what women over 50 are searching for online. So you can ask it to do things like, you can say something like, can you give me a headline with my mission statement to help attract clients that will convert online? Certainly, you can see why ChatGPT is such an agreeable assistant, right? So discover your next chapter, empowering women over 50 to redefine their journey and create a fulfilling future. And it's telling me right here why it aims to capture the attention of my target audience. So pop a yes in the chat if you could see the value of playing around a little bit more with ChatGPT as you make your videos today. We're going to be giving you a few more tips on Thursday about how to actually train ChatGPT to be your client. Like, raise your hand if you would love to train ChatGPT to actually be your ideal client. And then you could just ask ChatGPT questions. Here's who you are. How do you want me to deliver this? How do you want me to deliver that? So we've been doing some really fun things here with my marketing team, training ChatGPT to think like our clients do, because with your responses, each response is going to get more and more individualized to how you think and how you're training ChatGPT to think, because it's actually tracking back through your prompts each time you give it another prompt. Does that make sense, you guys? You're training it. It's actually tracking back through the prompts as you give it more and more prompts. So there's so much we want to do today. I know we're coming to the end of our time together. We just have a few more minutes, but I want to just say a few more things about micro niching and giving your potential clients not just a solution, but a more individualized solution. And ChatGPT can help you with this as well. Karen, absolutely. We've been using ChatGPT 4 as well. It was really glitchy this morning. ChatGPT 4 wasn't even working. So that's why we defaulted. But I want to talk for a moment about something that I think ChatGPT cannot do for you. And that is, ChatGPT can't think as strategically as you can think about your client. Does that make sense? You are a human. You understand the fears, the desires, the impulses that your potential clients are going to have. And you also are going to understand how to make your message even more specific. That being said, you can absolutely ask ChatGPT, could you come up with 3 micro niches within this particular niche? But let me give you a couple examples of this magnetic marketing that you'll be able to pop into your workbook as well. Because when we talk about not just a solution, but for an individualized solution, you're going to be able to take your marketing that much further. And here's an example. One of our clients came to us and she was helping people lose weight, but she realized that weight loss wasn't specific enough of a message. And she started teaching people not just weight loss, but holistic weight loss without dieting, and her business took off. Here's another example. Not just the burnout solution, but the solution to adrenal burnout for women. Can you guys see how much more specific this is, right? Here's another example. Not just how to rock your business, but how to rock the virtual and live stage so you can actually grow a profitable speaking business. So continue to noodle on and post your magnetic messages. Pop them in the chat if you have them handy. Pop your magnetic messages in the chat if you have them handy. I saw a bunch of them earlier on when we were talking about how to make your business bigger than what you're selling. But remember, the more specific and the more magnetic your message can be, the more you're going to stand out. So take a nice deep breath. Diane, I love your example here. If you're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted trying to figure out what to eat with your allergies, let me get you personalized support. So good. So good. Alyssa says how to banish parenting guilt. Not just let me help you learn how to be a better parent, but let me help you get rid of the guilt so you can thrive as a parent. So nice deep breath, everybody. This is being recorded. You can go back and watch the replay. Let's take a nice deep breath and reach our arms up overhead because I know we just gave you a lot of information. Raise your hand if you're feeling even more confident that you've got ChatGPT by your side. You got Nicole by your side. You got Sage by your side all week long. You got Coach Renee. You got Coach Aisha. You got Coach Naomi. So many folks here to support you. And that being said, in a few minutes, Nicole and I are going to bounce over to another Zoom line and give some of you individual coaching on your message. Raise your hand if you could see the value of not even just getting niche coaching yourself, getting message coaching yourself, but watching other people get coached on their message. Raise your hand if you could see the value of diving into this conversation even more, because we just gave you a lot of information and now it's time to keep digesting. So let me tell you about a way you can do that if you haven't already jumped into our Rock Your Message VIP experience. So we have launched a Rock Your Message VIP experience, which I'm super excited to invite you to join us. The website is womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP. And for the next 3 days, we're going to be providing group coaching for those of you that want to jump into the Rock Your Message VIP experience. We're going to continue to show you hacks to use AI and your unique genius to really fine-tune your message. We're going to be giving you direct feedback on your plans and your messaging. We're going to be teaching some bonus hacks to really make a bigger impact with your message. You'll also get lifetime access to all of these 7 days of training, and you're going to get 2 of my favorite bonus gifts. If you already jumped into VIP, no problem. If you are VIP, we're going to start at 12:30 in about 20 minutes, and you'll have the Zoom link waiting for you in your inbox. So just a quick reminder of what's included in VIP. You get the 3 magnetic message after parties. You get lifetime access to these 7 days worth of recordings, and you get 2 of my favorite bonuses that are going to help you really clarify your mission and stand out with your message. And you're going to get 25 proven marketable mission statements. It's a pretty cool thing. We have clients that have absolutely taken that next step with us and just created miracles in their business. You know, Susan Pierce Thompson years ago took the next step with us here at Women Rocking Business and went on to create millions in her business. Mel Robbins took the next step in her business, and her virtual event that she launched right after working with us had over 100 participants and enrolled 12 high-paying clients. Robin Nielsen was another example. You got to hear from her earlier. She's grown a 7-figure business, and she also, when given the chance, just took that next step. So the Rock Your Message VIP package is on a huge discount. Today is really kind of the last best day to jump in since the after party is starting in about 20 minutes. So head over to womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP if you haven't already, so you can join us for the after party. And I want to remind you that we also are launching the call to action. We're launching our visibility video contest. Raise your hand if you are in line to and excited to play to win over $22,000 worth of free business training. You don't have to be VIP to play in the calls to action. We are so excited to see your videos. We'll pop up the call to action for today. Nicole, do you want to share about this awesome opportunity everybody has to get feedback on their message?
I am so excited about this opportunity. We are having call to action number 1. So if you are interested in entering to win that $22,000 in business training, make sure you participate. So there's a couple of things that we're asking you to do. The first thing that we're asking you to do is to get visible. We want you to make a 1-minute imperfect live video. We want you to share your magnetic message, and we want you to do it in the Rock the Virtual and Live Stage Training Facebook group, our Facebook group for this challenge. So that's the first thing, is to make your 1-minute video. And the second thing that we're asking you to do is to, when you see the videos of other people in the Facebook group, stop by the videos of 3 other rock stars and give them some real feedback on what's awesome about their video, and then one thing that may have made their message a little bit more clear and effective. So just 2 tips to participate in this call to action. Number 1, please remember that your message does not have to be perfect, right? Our group is a safe place. So don't spend time on the perfection, spend time on the action and the visibility. Practice being visible. So that's the first thing. The other thing we want to tell you or introduce to you is that here at Women Rocking Business, we have a value not only to take action, but we support one another. You are not in this by yourself. No sisters speaking alone. So be sure to offer clear and specific feedback to other rock stars who are being as visible and brave as you are, and welcome the feedback that you get as well. We are all looking so forward to seeing your 1-minute videos in the Facebook group.
I'm so excited to support you by giving you feedback on your message. Raise your hand if you know you're going to get feedback from a high caliber group of women like this that could help you be better with your video. Raise your hand if you're willing to both receive the feedback and give the feedback in order for this community to go to the next level. And we're already doing it. Y'all are amazing. You're blowing me away in the Facebook group. But raise your hand if you'd be willing to take a few minutes to actually give 3 other women feedback on their video. Raise your hand. One of my favorite ways to give feedback is called the acknowledgement sandwich. And this is where you give them something they did awesome. Here's what I love about your video. Here's something that might make it even better. And oh, by the way, love your earrings. I know they're pretty cool, right? So when you give an acknowledgement with your feedback, it's just easier to digest. So raise your hand if you'd be willing to love everybody up, right? Don't bring people down, love them up, lift them up. And by the way, the Facebook group is a positive only group. If you bring a lot of negativity, you're not welcome there. So we hold a very clear line. Be loving, be positive. When you give people feedback, it's just, hey, this might make it even better. Not, you suck, do this instead, right? I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. Y'all are amazing. But thank you in advance for giving 3 of your sisters feedback on their videos, thoughtful feedback, because you cannot win the $22,000 prize if you don't actually give each other feedback. Feedback is part of the contest. Pop a yes in the chat if you're picking up what I'm laying down. You can't just make your video, expect other people to give you feedback and not give anybody feedback and then win the prize. In fact, we oftentimes choose prize winners of women who are really team players in the group, because this is an extraordinary experience, is it not? To have over 13,000 women playing. I think we have over 5,000 in the group already who are here with a same mission to support each other to rise. A rising tide lifts all boats. So make your 1 minute video. And just a reminder, that 1 minute video, y'all, it should be imperfect. Did you hear Nicole say it's not about you being perfect? It's about you just being real. And when you go live, it's pretty fun. It's pretty easy. When you go live, it's literally just a matter of going to make a post as if you are doing like a straight up post in the group. And instead of uploading a photo or like typing something, you're just going to click on live video. Okay. If you haven't done a live video yet, this is your chance. Live video is hot, hot, hot because Facebook is ranking live video higher in people's feeds than regular videos. So we're going to challenge you to do this 1 minute imperfect video. Don't just upload a video. We're going to challenge you to do it live. You can hold your phone horizontal if you don't want those black bars on either side. And it can be a strategy also to do vertical, because then your video is going to actually be even a little taller. I'm going to make a live video right now to let everybody know. Hello, Rock the Stage women. I'm making a live video while I'm on camera with all of you and with Nicole. And I'm here to support women to rock their businesses, to take the stage, to take the virtual stage, to stand out online so they can bring a message that truly changes the world, because the world's transforming so fast. Transformational businesses are needed now more than ever. So give me some love. If you're seeing this live video, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just holding my phone out in front of me. I got a little bit of light on my face. I'm standing in front of a window. There's my Buddha head out there. I don't know if you can see it. This is how you do it. You can do it too. And this is going to set you up to make live video that attracts your clients. Why not practice in a community full of women who love you? All right. So you're going to, easy as that, just like that, y'all. And it'll post for 30 days. And pop a yes in the chat if you're willing to play with us. We're going to show you a quick reminder of how to find, let's pop up the guides section slide. You guys are, again, invited to play in all the daily actions, right? We're going to have a daily action each day. Jill, if you go one back, sorry about that. If there's going to be an action step each day. And when you guys play in all 6 of the daily actions, that's when you're going to get entered to win the $22,000 of business training. This is amazing. I'm super excited to see who our winner is, but we're also going to be giving out daily prizes. Okay. So each day we're going to be giving out flash prizes, which is really exciting. And in the guide section of the Facebook group, we are going to be putting up the replay to this video training today and all the contest details. These replays will be up for the week and then they will come down, which is why you might want to jump into VIP. I also want to remind you to sign up for text reminders if you haven't already. We did something pretty cool where I loaded up my Dream Business Guidebook. This is a really cool mindset shifting process to really you dreaming big and designing your dream business. So I uploaded that to our text reminder auto sequence. So when you guys sign up for text reminders, you're going to get a link to my Dream Business Guidebook. If you haven't already signed up, make sure you go to womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP text. Coach Aisha just put that in the chat. That's womenrockingbusiness.com/VIP text, and you'll get all the reminders. Nicole, we have a couple of winners of our workbook selfie contest.
Oh my goodness. This is my favorite thing in the world to, of course, announce the winners of the contest. First of all, I want to tell everybody that when you took your pictures, your selfies with your workbook, we loved them. And we thank you. It made all the difference in helping to create community. And you're all winners. But we had to choose 2 people to highlight to win the prize of the day. So the people who were chosen are going to win 2 gifts. They are going to win a copy of Sage's best-selling Hay House book, and they are going to get her favorite mug, her Wonder Woman mug. I saw it, I think, twice in the videos. She loves this mug, and you are going to get your own copy. So to announce the winners, drum roll, please. Our winners are Natasha Smith Lewis and Tia Christensen. Congratulations. Congratulations. Just a little bit about them. Natasha Smith Lewis is our Heart Health Ambassador. She's taking a bold stance to help cut down the high death rates of women from heart attacks and strokes, especially in African American women who are dying of heart disease the most. She wears her jacket as a reminder of all women that taking care of our health is the most important thing we will ever do, and everything else in life depends on that. Congratulations, Natasha. And Tia is also a winner. Tia says she stands for legacy-driven professionals who are ready to heal their gun violence trauma and break free of the past to create a life of radiant health, boundless joy, deeply connected relationships, and freedom. She says climbing the mountain to heal doesn't have to be a solo journey. And when we cross the river of our past, green pastures are on the other side. What a beautiful picture to communicate a powerful message. So congratulations to both Natasha and Tia. Woo-hoo!
All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of day one. Can you believe we have 6 more days waiting for us? This is just the beginning. I'm going to invite you to reach your arms up overhead and make a little bit more room for a closing dance party. We're going to play some of our Women Rocking Business music to dance us out of here and wrap up the live recording on Facebook. Reminder that when you do your 1-minute live video, if this is new for you to do a live video from your phone, make sure you go into the Rock the Stage Facebook group so we can find it. And when you do that, also make sure that you post it and then you go love up 3 of your sisters. Tomorrow's topic is positioning a talk, a client attracting talk with your amazing topic. So VIPs, this is your chance. If you're not already VIP, to go sign up for VIP. We'll put that link in the chat one more time so you can join us for the after party. And VIPs, in order to find your special secret Zoom link, you want to go into your inbox and just look for any of the messages from Sage Levine or Women Rocking Business. You might want to check your spam folder. If we did end up in the spam folder, you'll just want to mark us as a safe sender so you get those emails. And you can also email support@womenrockingbusiness.com and they will get your VIP Zoom link to you. We are here every day, all week long, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and the VIP after parties are for the next 3 days at 12:30 Pacific. Here comes the music. I'm going to invite you to just move your body a little bit with me. Make a little more room for that message clarity, visibility, and expression. All right, live streamers, replayers, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow.